Like many other people in the world right now, I'm dealing with an evolving work from home situation where I find myself bound to my PC at my desk for most of the workday. I have a laptop, but I mainly use that when traveling or when doing more leisurely web browsing on the couch. Laptop ergonomics are far from ideal, so I often don't consider using my laptop when I'm at home. That has all changed since I have been using the desk view for the past 2 months. I remember watching a Shark Tank episode about a year ago where the two co-founders pitched the idea and Kevin O'Leary bought in. Fast forward about a year and I happened to get an ad for the desk view on Instagram. It seemed like a nice change up from my desktop PC while working at home, so I got one. I originally ordered the acrylic version, but then realized that it might get scratches on it, and I wasn't sure if it would work with my mouse. So I contacted DeskView to switch my order. The CEO, Mike Bolos, reached out to me directly, and we had a good chat after that. Through our conversation, he gave me indication that while the acrylic version is more prone to scratching than the other two colorways, that it shouldn't be much of an issue, and they haven't had any customer complaints about the acrylic option. Regardless, I chose to order the wood/bamboo version as I like the aesthetic a bit more. They also make a piano white version of the Big Baller. Of course, my first concern was probably similar to any prospective buyers. Will it be strong enough to keep my expensive laptop from falling to the ground? I can safely say that with the proper installation technique, I don't see any risk of this desk falling down. I consistently rest my elbows on it and have never had it budge one bit. As someone who has never had a standing desk before, I will say that it is certainly a welcome change up from sitting. Studies have shown that there are several health benefits associated with standing while working for portions of the day. I still prefer sitting for longer tasks, but for responding to emails, some quick video editing, looking at stocks, and Zoom calls, it's really a game changer. For Zoom calls, there's also the added benefit of having a window in front of you for great lighting, and with a shade, you can even control the amount of lighting perfectly for the call. There is also the added benefit of having the camera higher up so people don't have to look at your chin. I find myself intermittently moving between the desk view and my regular desk throughout the day. I've found that it has significantly reduced lower back strain. While it's a bit on the pricier side, it certainly pales in comparison to the hefty price tag of a standing desk, and it has the added benefit of being easily movable and giving you a view outside. The portability of the desk view has been big for me. I can use the desk in various places around the house with less than a minute's setup. For example, when I use the desk view in my room, I need to remove it from the window every night so that my blinds can properly close. Similarly, when I go visit my parents back home, it's portable enough to fit in my car easily. Installation is also quick and painless. Actually, installing the desk view only takes about 10 seconds or so. A useful accessory for the desk view is the 2-tier laptop stand. The first week I got the desk view, I used it without the 2-tier stand since it hadn't arrived yet. I really enjoyed the desk as a standalone product. However, the experience with the 2-tier stand was even better than I expected. It greatly improves the ergonomics of the laptop by lifting the screen to eye level. It also improves the airflow of the laptop, which is important if I'm editing a video so that the computer doesn't throttle. Even with the occasional gaming, the laptop doesn't overheat. Granted, the 2-tier stand only functions well if you have a keyboard and mouse to use in tandem. Similarly, it functions with a laptop that can tilt more than roughly 110 degrees. The 2-tier stand is versatile. It can work with a traditional desk like a normal laptop stand, as well as extending to fit the desk view. Setting up the desk is very simple and just requires you to clean the surface upon the initial setup. And the company even includes a small leveler if you want to make sure it's perfectly straight. I should note that it'll only work on smooth surfaces like a window or a whiteboard. I found that over time I got much better at setting it up evenly just by eyeballing it. Like most standing desks, it's height adjustable upon the initial installation, making it suitable for a user of any height. Here's my mom quickly shifting it to better suit her height at 5'1". As you can see, it's dead simple to move or adjust to the desired height. One of the improvements I could see happening in the future would be if the desk view could fold down while mounted to the window so you don't have to remove it. As for the size of the desk, I find that the desk view can adequately accommodate my keyboard, a cup of coffee, my phone, and a mouse. I do think they have room for a desk that is even a bit bigger in both dimensions than this big baller version pictured here. If you aren't using the two-tier stand, then I think a 15 or 16-inch laptop is probably the upper limit of a laptop that can fit here. A 17-inch is probably pushing it simply because of the sheer footprint of the laptop. The front of an excessively large laptop will probably hang off of the front side of the desk view. I'm using a 15-inch laptop for reference. I will note that the wooden desk works better with a mouse pad, as the wood grain texture gave my mouse a bit of resistance. I use the Logitech MX Anywhere 2S mouse, which works perfectly without a mouse pad. So I decided to put a matte epoxy on my desk view. The epoxy smooths out any roughness on the surface, and it additionally waterproofs the desk view, which provides me with some peace of mind when putting beverages on it. Although I imagine that it's relatively well sealed from the factory. I'm the type of person that likes to do DIY projects and customize things to my liking. But I do think that the desk view team could improve the surface of the wood version in the future. Of course, this is a non-issue if you have a mouse pad, or use the trackpad on your laptop. In terms of comfort, I found that standing on a hard surface like a wooden floor can be taxing on your feet. As a solution, when using the desk view, I stand on the bottom part of my desk foot pad rest, which doubles as a good foot pad for the desk view when I'm standing and using it. You could certainly also use one of the many foot pads made for standing desks. I also added a few cable clips underneath to route the power wire to my laptop and keep it at arm's reach, as well as manage the cables for my music gear. It works super well with the Maschine Micro drum pad, OP1 synthesizer, and Roly Lumi keyboard. It makes using them a lot more pleasant as I can make music while standing. I'm also positioned closer to the laptop screen, allowing me to see the tiny fonts or minute wavelengths in whichever digital audio workstation I'm currently in. All in all, with the desk view you certainly get what you pay for. Sure, it's a little on the pricier side, but they do have a promotion going on that I'll link below for about 15% right now. My only concern was the stability, but given that I leave things on it for extended periods of time, lean on it, and it hasn't lost adherence, I can certainly recommend the desk view. I would also highly recommend getting the two-tier stand if you have a larger laptop or if you simply want to get a better experience with a keyboard. Better airflow to your laptop and, of course, enhanced ergonomics while standing. I would also recommend the much smaller Desk View Mini version they have if you only want to put a laptop on it and want to spend less money for a movable standing desk experience. The floatier version also makes for a great decorative piece on a window if you want to put a plant or some other home accessory on it. While the desk view certainly could be a full-time workstation, I personally benefit from it as an alternate workspace at home or when traveling. It provides a nice change-up in my day, and I feel it enhances my productivity. The ease of use, the ergonomics, and the portability are second to none. I'm very glad that Instagram recommended this product to me during the pandemic, as I had almost forgotten that I saw it on Shark Tank a year prior. Being able to work with a window view outside has been very nice in this strange time where staying inside is encouraged. I even keep finding new use cases for the desk view as I spend more time with it, like propping up this pillow for a better voiceover sound during this review. If you have any questions about my experience with the desk view, please leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and catch you in the next one.